Have you heard about the latest controversy involving Kanye West? It seems like he's found himself in hot water again, and this time it's pretty serious. The buzz is all about Kanye allegedly hiring minors to work on an adults-only app called Ye. Can you believe it? This has sparked a lot of outrage and concern from all corners. Let's dive into the details of what's going on, the reactions it has stirred, and what this could mean legally for Kanye. By the way, did you know that several former employees have come forward with claims about Kanye's tech project? They say that the Ye app was developed with the help of underage workers. These minors were supposedly involved in coding, design, and testing of an app intended for adult users. The exact nature of the app's content is still a bit of a mystery, but the fact that minors were involved in such a project is raising all sorts of red flags. On a different note, I wanted to mention that these minors are reportedly young, talented coders and designers recruited from tech programs and online communities. While their skills are impressive, the idea of them working on an adults-only app is pretty unsettling. It seems like they might not have been fully aware of the app's purpose and were drawn in by the opportunity to work with Kanye West. This reminds me, did you see how these minors were recruited? Reports suggest that they were scouted from prestigious coding bootcamps and tech competitions. They were offered lucrative opportunities and the chance to work on high-profile projects. For many, the allure of working with a celebrity like Kanye West was too tempting to pass up. However, they were not fully briefed on the nature of the project they would be working on. Changing the subject for a moment, what do you feel about the reactions from parents and advocacy groups? They are furious. Parents feel completely blindsided that their kids were exposed to adult content and used inappropriately. Advocacy groups are also up in arms, calling for stricter regulations to protect young workers in the tech industry. Have you ever thought about how parents must feel in this situation? Many of them are devastated and outraged. They entrusted these programs and opportunities to provide a safe and educational environment for their children, only to find out they were working on an adults-only app. Advocacy groups are rallying, demanding better oversight and stricter regulations to prevent such incidents from happening again. Now, that's interesting, but what about the tech industry insiders? Some are condemning Kanye's actions outright, while others are discussing the blurred lines in the gig economy. Young talent often works on freelance projects without fully understanding the implications. However, the consensus is clear. Involving minors in an adult-themed project is completely unacceptable and warrants serious investigation. Moving on to something else, have you heard about the legal implications for Kanye? The potential legal trouble for him is no joke. Using minors for such work could lead to significant fines, lawsuits, and possibly criminal charges. Authorities are already looking into these claims, and if proven true, Kanye could be in for some serious legal battles. Let's switch gears for a second. How about the specific charges Kanye could face? If it's proven that minors were hired, he could be charged with child labor violations. There's also a possibility of charges for endangering minors and fraud if these kids were misled about the project. The legal system takes the exploitation of minors very seriously, and Kanye could face severe penalties if found guilty. While we're on the topic of interesting things, have you heard about the child labor laws? In the United States, child labor laws are designed to protect minors from exploitation and ensure their work environment is safe and appropriate for their age. If Kanye West hired minors for an adults-only project, he could be in violation of these laws. This could result in hefty fines and legal repercussions. On another note, what's your opinion on the charge of endangering minors? This is a serious offense. If it's proven that Kanye's actions put these minors in harm's way, he could face significant legal consequences. Endangering the welfare of a child is a grave charge that the legal system does not take lightly. Not to change the subject too abruptly, but I've been meaning to ask you about the possibility of fraud and misrepresentation charges. If the minors were misled about the nature of the project, Kanye could be facing these charges as well. Misleading young workers about the true nature of their work is not only unethical, but also illegal. I'm curious about your thoughts on Kanye West's response. So far, he's been mostly silent, with his representatives issuing a brief statement denying any wrongdoing. They emphasized his commitment to innovation and creativity, but didn't address the specifics of these serious allegations. Fans and critics alike are eagerly waiting for a more comprehensive response from the rapper. Another thing I wanted to mention is the court of public opinion. People are pretty harsh on Kanye right now, with many expressing their disappointment and anger. Social media is buzzing with discussions, and hashtags like "Cancel Kanye" are trending. The scandal has definitely taken a toll on his reputation. While we're talking, I wanted to bring up the bigger picture. The scandal raises important questions about the protection of young talent in the tech world. The involvement of minors in adult-oriented projects is a wake-up call for the industry. There needs to be better oversight and stricter regulations to ensure that young workers are not exploited. This just came to mind. What do you think about industry standards? There needs to be a push for higher industry standards and better protections for young workers. The tech industry has a responsibility to ensure that all workers are treated fairly and ethically. This scandal is a stark reminder that there is still a lot of work to be done. Now, let's discuss the role of regulatory bodies in such controversies. Regulatory bodies play a crucial role in overseeing and enforcing laws that protect workers, especially minors. They are responsible for ensuring that companies comply with labor laws and ethical standards. In the case of Kanye West's tech project, regulatory bodies will be instrumental in investigating the allegations and holding accountable those who have violated labor laws. One important aspect to consider is the psychological impact on the minors involved. Working on adult-themed projects can be distressing and harmful to young minds. The psychological well-being of these minors must be a priority, and measures should be taken to provide them with the necessary support and counseling. It's also worth noting the legal precedents that could be set by this case. If Kanye West is found guilty of violating child labor laws and other regulations, it could lead to stricter enforcement and new legislation aimed at protecting minors in the tech industry. This case could serve as a landmark moment in the fight against the exploitation of young workers. As we continue to explore the ramifications of this scandal, it's essential to highlight the role of whistleblowers and investigative journalism. The allegations against Kanye West came to light because former employees and journalists were brave enough to speak out. Their efforts have brought attention to a serious issue and prompted a broader discussion about ethics and labor practices in the tech industry. Let's shift our focus to what this all means for Kanye West. The allegations about hiring minors for an adults-only app are serious and have sparked widespread outrage. As the investigation continues, everyone is watching to see how this will play out. For now, Kanye West is at the center of yet another controversy, one that could have long-lasting effects on his career and legacy. I'm curious about your thoughts on the future for Kanye with all these controversies. The involvement of minors on such a project is a significant ethical and legal misstep. As more details emerge, it will be interesting to see how Kanye navigates the scandal and what the ultimate fallout will be. Don't miss out. Subscribe for the latest updates on Kanye West's controversies and more. Hit the bell icon to stay informed and join the conversation in the comments below.